I did it, and what's up, Nelly gang? It's your girl Nicole here. Welcome back to my channel. Come here, let me hug you. I just want to say happy holidays to you guys. I'm not sure when this video is going to be posted, but I just want to say happy holidays to you guys, especially to those who actually celebrate the holidays. And if you don't celebrate the holidays, or if you are alone during this holiday season, I just want to send you lots of loves, lots of kisses, okay? And I hope that you guys enjoy. So today we have a little bit more of a personal video. This is kind of going to be like another, like, piggybacking off of the video that I made. I think it was last week where I talked about my 1 month without it and how I almost failed. So this is going to be kind of like trickling onto that. So yeah, I'm gonna be very honest, okay? I always like to be honest. I always like to let you guys know, just because I feel very passionate about this area in my life. So I hope that this video is a blessing to somebody out there. But before we get into the tea, okay, if you would like to be a part of the Nelly gang, all you gotta do is hit subscribe. Like, come on, I know you want this for life, so subscribe, boo. And anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So before we get into that, I'm actually filming in my recording room, and I have my window open. The sun is literally shining bright today, and I wanted my window open because I have a nice beautiful view. Also, my hair, I washed it recently, so it's in its natural state. I have naturally curly hair, so I usually just straighten it so you guys don't really see it like this that often. I'm going to be kind of piggybacking off of the video that I made, I think it was last week. Pretty much in that video, I was sharing with you guys my journey and my experience with not engaging in any sexual acts with anyone else as well as myself. But this video, I'm mostly just going to be focusing on myself and letting you guys know my experience. I've had a lot of you guys reach out to me after I made that video. I was actually very surprised by it, and it actually caught me off guard because I was not expecting a lot of you to DM me and let me know that some of you guys are on the same journey as me. This video is mostly going to be talking about what to do if you fail. I'm gonna be very blunt, very honest, very real in this video. I did kind of take notes this time because I wanted to make sure that I was gonna stay on track. So the first thing that I want to say before I like give my advice and share my experience on how I failed many times, I just want to say that when you're on this journey, right, when you are trying to refrain from engaging in sexual acts with other people as well as with yourself, I'm going to be referring more to myself because that's just what I'm referring to mostly. But when you're trying to not do that, you have to understand that you're all human, right? And so we're all going to make mistakes. We're not going to be perfect all the time. We're not going to do everything right. And so you have to give yourself an opportunity to make mistakes. You have to give yourself a grace period. It's like when you pay bills, if you pay any bills, they give you like a grace period to be able to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? Just because you mess up, it's okay. Like, don't beat yourself up about it. So, I mean, what else can you do? All you can do is try. And the biggest thing for me is that I always say to myself and that I always say to other people is that it's about where your heart is. And as long as your heart is in it and as long as you're literally trying your very best, that's all you can do is try. Like, you can't, there's nothing else you can do. You know, you can't beat yourself up too much about it. You're still human. You're going to make mistakes. You're not a perfect person, and it's not always going to be easy. And I just want to say I failed many times before, many times before. So the next thing that I want to say that really helps me, especially if I've already failed, and like I said, I will be sharing a few experiences and some examples from myself. I like to use myself as an example. If you mess up, right, let's say you give into temptation and you mess up, you need to kind of start from scratch, right? Because it's kind of hard to just go right back into the groove of things, especially if you messed up. You kind of have to regroup yourself, get back into alignment, and get back into the path that you were on. So the thing that I like to do if I've messed up, or what I like to tell people is if they mess up, is to remember why you started. And to remember why you started on your journey is to figure out why you want to start. A lot of times people start because they feel like they've been doing it too much, or they feel like, you know, they're tired of doing that, or they're tired of giving their body weight to other people, or they're tired of doing that to themselves, and they decide that they want to make a change in their life. So that's why they stop. Some people stop for religious reasons. Some people stop just because. So you have to figure out what is the reason why you want to stop engaging in doing the do with yourself, or just with other people in general. Like I said, I'm more referring to doing the do with yourself. Find your own journey, find your own path. That's why I always say, like, I'm on my own journey, I'm on my own path, and I don't want to force my beliefs or my opinions on anybody else, because everybody has their own path, everybody has their own journey. So you have to figure out what works best for you. So what might work for me might not work for you. The journey that I'm on might not be what you're trying to be on. So you have to figure out why you want to start this journey and remember why you started it. And also too with that is you want to set realistic goals for yourself. And if you see me looking over there, it's because I'm looking at the view. Like, literally guys, nature is just there and it's so beautiful. But yeah, you want to set realistic goals for yourself. So if you're used to engaging with yourself every day, then do it every other day. You can't go from doing that every day to like, oh, I'm not going to do it for a whole month. You have to give yourself some time to grow. You have to give yourself some time to be able to build up to that. You can't just hop straight into it. Some people can, and it works for them, and that's fine. But if you're a person that's been used to doing that for a long time, you know, especially every day, just do every other day. And then when you conquer that, stay there for a moment, you know, get used to that, and then you can start adding more days onto that. It takes willpower, it takes a long time, it takes dedication, it takes strength, and it's always a journey. That's why it's called a journey. But what I also like to tell people is that you have to take baby steps. You can't just hop straight into it like, oh, I'm gonna go 1 month, or I'm gonna go a whole 2 months or 3 months or a whole year. Like, you have to build yourself up to that, and then you can start adding on extras. So give yourself realistic expectations and don't be too hard on yourself. Next thing that I always like to say is realize what your triggers are. So if you have failed, what caused you to fail? Like, were you watching something? Were you listening to something? Were you talking to somebody? Like, what in that moment made you fail? That's something that I like to do, is if I do fail, and like I said, I failed many times. I'm gonna share one example for you guys where I actually failed, and I was drinking and I had one too many to drink, and I started feeling some type of way, and I literally just, you know, it happened, okay? It happened, and that was like a very bad situation, because number one, I had too much to drink. That was already bad in itself, but I'm already kind of like not in control of myself, you get what I'm saying? So I allowed myself to engage in that because I already didn't have control of my body. So for me, I realized that one of my triggers is drinking. If I drink too much, I don't have control of myself, as most people don't. So you have to realize what made you fail in that moment. And in that moment, what made me fail was allowing myself to have one too many drinks. So now I know, first of all, you don't want to drink too much because you just don't want to drink too much. And second of all, I don't want to do that because it might trickle over into something else. So you have to realize what your triggers are and try your best to stay away from them. And sometimes us as humans, we don't have triggers. Sometimes, you know, we're just human, and sometimes you'll just wake up and you're like, well, it is what it is type of thing. So if there isn't nothing that necessarily triggers you, that's what brings me into my next thing, which is when you do feel like that and when temptation is knocking at your door literally, and you're like, okay, well, now I'm in the moment, so what do you want me to do about this? Okay, what do you want me to do about this? It's those moments are when it's the toughest. And trust me, I know, because I've been in that situation many times. As I say, the longer you go, the more that you get used to fighting back, you know, fighting temptation. It starts to get easier, but there are moments where your humanly flesh starts to take over, and you just can't, right? But a lot of times in those moments, I like to keep myself busy. As soon as I feel that urge or whatever coming, because let's be real, we're human, we're gonna feel some type of way, and sometimes you could just, like I said, wake up and just feel some type of way. You don't even really have to look at nothing necessarily or do anything. Sometimes it's just there. So I know I said sometimes a lot, but in those moments, I like to get up. I like to, if I'm laying down, I like to get up. I like to go out. I'm like, okay, let me go to the store, let me go cook, let me go do something. And if it's really real, I will look up at the sky. I'm like, God, I need you to come through. It's very hard, but I'm telling you, once that feeling goes away, you're going to be so much more happier that you did not give into temptation. And so those are some of the things that I want you guys to kind of think about, you know, when it comes to that. So yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. You guys let me know how you guys are doing on your journey. Let me know what your struggles are, and I hope that this video helped at least one person. Like I said, I don't mind sharing my journey. I don't mind sharing my experiences, especially if it's going to help somebody out there. And I thank you guys so much for those who this video is going to help. I thank you guys for stopping by and for checking it out and for listening to me on my journey. And just remember, you're human. Don't be too hard on yourself. And also, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media. It'll be down below in the description box. And happy holidays to all of you that celebrate the holidays. Thank you guys so freaking much for watching. And of course, as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.